Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy the D here, the captain of the Thunder God Pirates, and yeah, we got a chapter today, and boy, oh boy, it's something. Yeah, read the chapter. I've read it twice now, and not gonna lie, I wouldn't say I saw this coming, but I'm not surprised. Like this was feasible. It's funny because this chapter is 1010, and I believe it would qualify as a 10 out of 10. Cause boy, shit is going off. Like, boy, howdy. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Yet again, this is your boy the D. I have my Linktree in the description if you want to goodness, I blanked. If you want to interact with me on my other socials, see me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, or anything like that, definitely my Linktree in the description below. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more, definitely hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And definitely leave me a comment. If you agree, if you don't agree, it's all interaction. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. One Piece, chapter 1010, Color of the Supreme King. Okay, so we pretty much pick up right where the last chapter left off. Big Mom's falling, calling for Zeus. But as we know, Kid, who had a surprisingly well thought out plan, was able to trap him in a metal box to keep him from going after her. And then Zoro is still cutting up Zeus into little pieces, who he's chasing after, trying to prevent him. But we see that he's still reeling from the effects of damn near successfully blocking Conquest of the Sea. And we even see Trafalgar looking on at him is like, how is he fighting? That last attack could have shattered every bone in his body. And yet again, with Trafalgar being a certified surgeon, it's that assessment is accurate. And also, last time we left off, Luffy had just been hit by Ragnarok from Kaido in his hybrid form. We then see Kaido look on, well, kind of not look on, but kind of glance over to see kind of the situation happening with Big Mom, and even he's like, that's pathetic, and he even says he has to do everything else. He then goes to attack Zoro, good lord, again blanking, but yeah, Luffy's on the ground like he was when he originally took the Thunder Bakuda at, I think that was Leftover Town, Bakuda. But yeah, he's on the ground, and then Kaido goes with his Konobo to attack Zoro, who he refers to as the Pirate Hunter, and wants him to let Prometheus go. Zoro kind of looks over and he kind of has that oh crap face. It's like, okay, I'm not okay. I'm barely doing this, and this hybrid dragon motherfucker actually wants to attack me. But just as Kaido reels back his Konobo, we can see that he pops out of existence, and Law goes to use his injection shots, and he then his sword pierces Kaido as he's swinging. And the thing is, Kaido does cough up blood, so we can see that he is hurt. But I think with Kaido, with Law, it's a little bit different. I don't think Law has the level of hockey needed to hurt Kaido. I think I said this a couple of chapters ago when the fight first started. I believe it's just his power. He can bypass Kaido's external organs to attack his internal organs. I can't remember which anime it was. No, it was History's Strongest Society of Kenichi, which is another anime that if you haven't ever seen it and you like martial arts, you should definitely see it, and you should definitely pick up the manga if you're interested in that. But I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that you can train your outer exterior. That's all fine and well, your muscles and all that, and you can even do skin training, harden your skin to a certain degree. But your insides will always be just as vulnerable. And Kaido even admits after coughing up blood. Well, he doesn't admit, but he's like, those powers of yours. So he's kind of admitting like, okay, it's your powers. Your power is the problem. And it's then that Kaido is able to strike with his Konobo, and Law showcases a new technique called antibacterial curtain, which it looks like it's a shield move. And he even goes on to, Kaido even goes on to say that Law's powers throw him off. And it was then that we see both Prometheus and Napoleon leap off of the floating Onigashima to go after Big Mom. And Zoro, who is yet again still reeling from those injuries, is able to articulate like, hey, the plan's gonna go save Big Mom. And it's here that Law is able to convey the true point of this plan. He's like, look, let him go. And he said that the plan might as well fail if anyone dies, saying that either A, he started to actually care for the Straw Hats, or B, I need you motherfuckers. And Kid then chimes in saying, hey, the point was the point was to separate them. No need, and there's no need to take it too far. Killer backs him up. They then run off with a trail of scrap metal behind them, saying that they'll take care of her. Now, it should be noted that they're going to be fighting in mid-air, so I'm interested to see what Kid's going to do along with Killer. Like I said, I think yet again, we are 1,010 chapters deep in this bitch, and we do not know that man's devil fruit name. Yet again, we know it deals with attraction and repulsion. We know it deals with magnetism, but we don't know its name. Shit. And even with Killer, like I said, when he made his blade extend and cut through, and kind of cut like through the scales that Kaido has, I think there's something up with those scythe blades. But yet again, we'll see. All right. And then we cut over to Big Mom, who, yet again, I thought she might have been landing on her children's ship. I think I was like, hey, they might be coming to Onigashima as well, but no. Prometheus is able to save her, and it's then that she expresses annoyance at Zeus. She's like, where the hell is he? What's he doing? And then Prometheus takes this chance to badmouth Zeus, but he also goes on to say, he goes on to ask Mama for a certain something, which he asks, what is it? But we can't tell. They cut away from the conversation before we can actually hear what it is. I'm thinking, excuse me. I had a little hiccup burp there. But I'm thinking it's a power-up. I think there's something, either he's gonna ask for a power-up from Big Mom herself, or he's going to ask that she, give like the part of her soul that's in Zeus to him. So this is something to do with him getting something out of this and potentially becoming an even more dangerous threat. All right, and even as this conversation is happening, we look over to Kid and Killer. They're standing on the edge looking, and I thought they were gonna jump off. That would have been what I would assume. But then Kid looks up and he's like, these clouds are weird. So something's happening. I don't know if it's something to do with Kaido or Big Mom. I'm gonna say because Prometheus was asking for something, I'm thinking this may have something to do with whatever he asked Big Mom. So we then cut back over to Kaido, who is standing over Luffy, and even then, he says he's doing it again. He's done this before. Now, for what we see, Luffy looks like he is unconscious and out of it, but from what Kaido's saying and looking at him, he's saying he's still staring me down. So in Kaido then, he does the supervillain monologue shtick. Okay, what should I crush first? Your eyes, your brain, your heart. Pretty much just musing over how he's going to end this battle in a way that amuses him. Then Zoro takes out all three of his swords, and he's like, look, and goes to Luffy. Not Luffy, Jesus. I mixed Traffy and Law. But he goes over to Law, he's like, look, I'm about to do is it's everything that I got. I have nothing else. This is it. And then Law, he even asks him, are you sure about that? But Zoro retorts, look, if this fight drags on any longer, we're pretty much just gonna be wearing ourselves out. And he tells him, look, if we can't break through, if we can't do some real damage, we're screwed. And with that, after this, it's all you. Zoro, this is what Zoro's saying to Law, like, look, after this, I'm spent. I have nothing else. There's nothing else in the tank. This is pretty much it. He then calls over to Kaido, and we see him pouring his haki into Enma in his right hand. And he tells him that that's his captain. And it's then that we finally, after God knows how many years. Let me see. Because if I'm remembering this correctly, we haven't seen this technique since his fight with Kaku in his lobby, which was, I remember watching that arc in high school. I think that was relatively new. My 10th grade summer. I think it was summer going into 11th grade. So I think that was summer of 2008. Like, that was when I was first catching up with the One Piece anime. And like I said, these episodes of the Enemy's Lobby arc was new. I don't think it even ended when I was catching up to it. So then we see Zoro take the 9-sword stance, Demon Aura, 9-sword style, Ashura blades drawn. He then rocks up to Kaido and he unveils a new technique. I don't know if this is the one that he used against Kaku. Can't remember off the top of my head, but the new technique, Dead Man's Game. And it's here that we see him cut Kaido. Kaido has been sliced. He's coughing up blood, and even Law's jaw drops. And Zoro then starts huffing like he's done some work, and he has. And we then see Kaido with a scar over his chest, and he says, "Damn it, boy." And it's then that something that a lot of us have long suspected is pretty much confirmed. Don't tell me you can use the color of the Supreme King too. And even Zoro himself is like, what are you talking about? And he then says, as he falls face first on the ground, that was the best attack I was doing. That's the best attack that he could do. And he was hoping that he at least knocked him off his feet. But Kaido is Kaido, so even that wasn't enough. And Kaido even then pays him a compliment. I'll give it to Kaido. He's a bit of a dick. He's an evil monster. But the man will give credit where credit is due. And it's even then he says, you did enough. This wound will remain with me. And it's then that he pays the worst generation another respect. He's like, your generation has proven to be quite the annoyance. Not Kaido, good lord, Law then runs over telling Zoro to get out of there. And it's here that Kaido glances over at Law saying, "Oh, don't worry, stay there, I'll come to you," and hits him with Thunder Bagada. And with incredible speed, he strikes Law down as well. I don't know if he's down for the count, but oh buddy, that shit hurt. And he then goes on to yet again pontificate. What a shame. He then huffs, "If you'd come with me, you could have conquered the world." And it's then that we hear a voice. "With you? We'd never go with you, idiot. We love the samurai." And here we see Luffy shadowed. And he's huffing, "Mark my words, you're going down. You're going down." And it's then that we see a flashback with old man Hyogoro telling him the haki that you wield penetrates and destroys the enemy from the inside. And then he then goes on to tell him, with Ryuo, don't overstress. You must allow the haki to flow into your fist. And then Luffy, even to himself, he admits it was still too shallow, because this whole time, Luffy has been doing damage to Kaido, but it hasn't been any lasting damage. Pretty much, he's been depleting Kaido's HP, but not by enough. Nothing to really, like, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise lately. Pretty much, he's been hitting the monster. He's like the numbers have been popping up, but he hasn't been able to stagger Kaido yet, or do anything really meaningful. And then Hyogoro, in the flashback tells him, it is in the midst of danger that power truly blossoms. But he then goes on to say, after taking that hit from your club, the Ragnarok, or the Ragnaraku, he figured it out. He then goes on to say, you can infuse things with Conqueror's haki, can't you? And hold up, before we go any further, it's here that we can confirm. Now, in the anime, because I've never read the chapters, but I have seen the anime, when Zoro used the 9-sword style against Haku, the ground turned black. And even Kaku was like, are you a demon? He could feel Zoro's presence emanating off him. So that was kind of a first hint, because a lot of people were saying maybe Zoro might have King Conqueror's Haki. And even I said, you know, it would make sense, because yet again, Zoro's aiming to be the top, but at least from what we know, only 1 in a million people are born with that Haki. So Zoro might just happen to be one in a million. But so it seems that even Mihawk couldn't draw out Conqueror's Haki, which may mean that he doesn't have it, or he just never noticed it. Because yet again, we don't know anything about Zoro's training with Mihawk. For all we know, Zoro might have been working on the 9-sword style in secret. So yeah, so Mihawk may not even know. And it looks like Zoro doesn't even know. Because even when Kaido's like, don't tell me you can do it too. And Zoro was just like, look, man, I'm about to pass the fuck out. I don't know what you're talking about. So yes, so it's now that we get the truth about Conqueror's Haki. Conqueror's Haki can be mixed with, can be imbued in things to increase their stopping power. Like, genuinely, I know when Luffy was fighting Doflamingo, they, like, you know, whenever their Haki would clash, you would see the lightning. And even recently in the anime, we saw, you know, Gold Roger versus Whitebeard, their clash. And you know, with that, you know, they were pouring so much Haki, we thought it was just a lot of Haki. Hell, Ryuo. But in this case, it may have just been they were not only putting their armament Haki into their weapons, but they were also putting their Conqueror's Haki in their weapons, which is dope. Oh, and it's also funny because I think it was Ohada on Twitter, I follow him on Twitter, and he was like, he put up a panel how earlier in the Onigashima raid, people thought Zoro was using Conqueror's Haki, like he did it as a joke. But now we're seeing Zoro has it. Kaido confirmed it. If anybody would know, it'd be Kaido being hit by it, especially Zoro using it in this non-traditional way. Like, I think that's why Rox, Shanks, Whitebeard, and Roger could hurt him, all users of Conqueror's Haki. So that's what they were doing. That's why only those 5 could hurt him, because he's probably rarely fought anybody with Conqueror's Haki of that level. So yeah, it might not even be the Kaido so necessarily hard to injure. It might just be like there's so few people at that level who can. It should be something that anybody with Conqueror's Haki should be able to do, but there's so few people who ever get to that level where they can do it. But back to present. Kaido then starts to laugh, and he then answers Luffy's question. Only a handful of the very strongest can, not a dead man walking. And it's then that Luffy kicks his Konombo. But here's the thing. As we see, Luffy's foot never makes contact with the Konombo itself. It's like he's kicking it's like there's something there. Like there's something extending out of his foot causing the Konombo to push away. And he then flips off. Kaido smiles when he does this. And it's then that Luffy, like after he lands, jettisons and punches Kaido in the stomach. But yet again, from his fist, we can see that his fist is never making direct contact, and there is that black lightning coming off of it. He's able to make Kaido reel, and as Kaido as he's being pushed back, he looks up, and it's there that Luffy uppercuts him again. Yet again, not actually his fist, his knuckles are not touching Kaido. It's his Haki. And it's then that we see Kaido fall flat on his back. And yet again, at least Law's watching him. Zoro's there. I don't know if he's still conscious, but they're kind of observing it. And even Law comments he's not even touching him. And he even thanks them for protecting him. And he says that they can go down now, that he's gonna beat him no matter what it takes. And he wants them to go ahead and let everybody know. And that is the end of One Piece chapter 1010, The Color of the Supreme King. Dope chapter. So, we got confirmation Zoro is a conqueror, which is dope. Like, I think, like I said, I didn't call this. I'm not gonna say I'm fucking Nostradamus with this shit. Some things I call, some things I don't. This was not one of the things I called. I did not call this. but it's not surprising. It just isn't. Like who Zoro is, who Zoro has shown himself to be throughout this story, his level of skill in combat and character, and like the quality of his character. Not surprising. Wanting to be the best swordsman, wanting to do it the right way. King shit. King shit. This chapter has been king size. And we learned that yes, part of what we've been seeing is like, some people are calling it advanced Conqueror's Haki. I don't know if I would say it's advanced. I'd say it's a new application. I don't know if it's like advanced. If I would say it's advanced, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, definitely good. So, and finally Zoro used fucking 9-sword style, because look, and the funny thing is, let me talk to kids. Funny thing is, since the time skip, Zoro has yet to be pressed. Now, don't misconstrue my words. I don't think it's that Zoro's met nobody who could press him. I definitely think that if he'd have went up against Dofi himself, he'd have been pressed. I mean, Horty Jones didn't press him. I think if he'd have went up against Jack or King like we thought, because I thought the captains were gonna fight Kaido and Zoro was gonna fight King. It's looking like that might not be the case, at least thus far. Who knows? Zoro could, Law could be trying to take Zoro and them down to the floor, and he's caught up with King, and that could happen. That could happen. But at least for now, not looking like it's what's gonna happen. But yeah, now Zoro's finally been pressed enough to use 9-sword style. Like I think, yeah, if Zoro had went against Katakuri or one of the other Sweet Commanders, I think he would have been legitimately pressed. But now I think, because Luffy, we've seen the bulk of what Luffy can do. Luffy hit his wall in Whole Cake Island. It's, from what it's looking like, Snake Man was the last thing he got from Rayleigh. Like from his 2-year time skip. Like that was the last thing. And it's looking like this was the absolute last thing that Zoro got from Mihawk. Yet again, I don't know if Mihawk knew about this, because I doubt Mihawk would have saw this and not been like, oh, you have Conqueror's Haki just like Shanks or me myself. Oh, wow. And I doubt he wouldn't have told Zoro about it, because Zoro can use observation and armament. So I doubt Zoro wouldn't know. But anyway, just a good chapter. Next chapter hits on the 25th, so no chapter next week. Kind of sucks, but after that, definitely got some shit to unpack. But I think I've talked enough. I think I've got my point across. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, definitely hit with the like and tell me what you thought of the chapter. Did you see this coming? Does it surprise you? Does it not surprise you? Anyway, this has been your boy, the D20, signing out. Holla.